Look at this gorgeous flower I found. All of them really, but this one in particular is gorgeous.
Good morning, Meshach. It is Thursday, April 13th, and I'm not gonna lie to you, Meshach, you're making me a little bit nervous. 2 weeks ago now to the day, you announced to me and then to the channel that you'd be back soon. And then, offline you told me, yeah, I want to make my video a banger when I come back. And you said soon, and so 3 weeks isn't like that soon, so it kind of makes me think that you were intending to do it sooner, and then you've been spending all this time making the next video a banger, so I feel like every video that I put out needs to be able to compete with whatever you've been working on, and that's unfair. Why, you ask, is that unfair? Well, good point. I wonder if you guys listen closely with my new microphone and stuff, if you can hear those birds outside. Usually, sounds coming from outside would annoy me, but this is so pretty, and everything around here has been so pretty lately. I'm not sure if you could tell from the intro, but it has just been like golden, perfect, happy sunny weather all around. Birds are chirping and flowers are, bright and shining, and you can smell them from a mile away. It has honestly been eerily good. But that's not all that has been eerily good. I've just been feeling happier lately. And I suppose that's a good thing. But today I wanted to talk to you guys about something bad that I do. And it's going to be a little bit of a therapy session, but maybe a little bit of a therapy session that can help you too. So I do this thing when things start getting good. I start feeling that good a lot, and I take it very much to heart because I think that you should enjoy the good moments in life as much as you possibly can. Okay, and that's not a bad thing that I do. I definitely encourage people to lean into the goodness of their lives. The bad thing that I do is the thing that immediately follows that, which is when I am very suspicious of that happiness. I feel like the universe is gonna get me back, or that there's a false sense of happiness. And what a human thing that is too, because we're always trying to regulate. If you feel too sad, hopefully you're regulating up. And if you feel too happy, it's likely that you're regulating down. It's actually a really interesting thing about human psychology, so I'm going to take a side tangent, but hopefully I will remember to get back to my habits in particular. There's this thing about us where human brains don't want to be satisfied. And evolutionarily, that makes sense, right? If you are starving and you think to yourself, what I really need is, and what I really want is this bare necessity of food. And then you achieve that bare necessity of food. Maybe logic would deem, I achieved my goal, I should be satisfied. But you might point out, in that case, they should probably get some more for security, right? And so they'll get some more for security. They'll be like, oh, this is great, but actually what I really want is more. And so they get a little bit more, right? And then when they reach that goal, they realize oh, but this isn't everything that it could be. I could have surplus for trade. And then they'll get a little bit more. And there's never any disincentive to be dissatisfied with where you are, right? The people that are going to survive are the people that are constantly dissatisfied with their circumstances and therefore improving them. That has been the history of mankind. And there are all these famous examples of people who, should have been really bummed for maybe their whole lives, but then weren't. The person that left the Beatles was yeah, that's okay. I'm happy with things. People that go to prison, people that go, to prison for their entire life, don't report being that much unhappier than people who are just living their normal lives because they re-regulate. And usually that can be a great thing for humans. If someone is depressed and you tell them things will get better, more often than not, you're not lying. In fact, almost 100% of the time, you're not lying. Things will get better. But the flip side to that coin is that when you're on top of the world, things will get worse. Now, the first few times that I experienced this elation in my life, this sort of grand happiness, and then came down from it, I was scared. I was scared that I was gonna go spiraling into a depression again because I have experienced depression and it is not fun. But with time, I've learned that it can't always be, a rocket shipped to the moon on happiness and you're, gonna die at 83 years old feeling like you're always on meth. Because that's not how life is. There are ups and there are downs. I was just watching some videos of myself earlier, yes I do that, where I was like clearly feeling pretty down. And now I'm feeling pretty high up. But I anticipate that I won't be feeling up and up and up forever, and I am okay with that. At this stage in my life, I have come to terms with the fact that things will be up and things will be down. But the thing that I'm trying to avoid, and the bad thing that I'm still doing, is that while I'm on the up, I still have it in my mind that it's all gonna come crumbling down, and I shouldn't do that. I should know that it's gonna come in the back of my mind somewhere, but I shouldn't be thinking about it. I should just be enjoying it. I should be leaning into it. I should be taking opportunities while I have the energy to do so. And you should too. So what am I saying? What is the moral of the story here? The moral of the story here is don't feel scared or ashamed of feeling unabashedly happy. Pursue that with everything you got. Remember that happiness almost necessarily can't be permanent. And try and imagine a life where you're okay with that inconsistent progress. I read this book called Happier, and I recommend everyone read it. I will put up a picture of the book and its author here. And it kind of describes that being happy is a myth. You don't achieve happiness. You become happier. It's a progress. And life will kind of look like this, right? You'll go up and you'll go down, and hopefully with time it gets better. And that statement before, it gets better, both has that immediate meaning, right? You'll loop up, and it also has that long-term meaning. You'll move up. You'll become happier with time. So yeah, with that in mind, I'm really happy right now. And if you guys can, like Ian said a couple of weeks ago, you guys should go out and smell some flowers. You guys should get out in the sun if you can. You should talk to people, be friendly with everyone you can, do a random act of kindness. And your official advice, I guess that was a bunch of advice, and this whole video has kind of been advice about the mentality you should keep for happiness. But your official advice, your official Sam stamped approval advice for the day is take good care of yourself. Lately I have been going to the gym more consistently. I have been buying all sorts of fancy grooming products and moisturizing my skin way more. Thanks for noticing. And as it turns out, those things have a huge impact on your mood, and I don't like to think of myself as a physical being in this universe. It's a stressful philosophical thought for me, but I am, regardless of whether or not I want to be. And if you treat this thing nicely, then you'll have a better time, and that's what we're all here for, right? Meshach, I am still very excited for your comeback, despite my also being a little bit scared of it. And schmackers, I will see you next week.